So hi everyone, thank you for joining us today. My name is Jake and I'll be facilitating today's Arts Advantage session as part of Ryerson's virtual open house, which is taking place this week from September 21st to 25th. There are many sessions taking place all week long and we encourage you to visit our website and register for any other sessions that interest you. To start, Ryerson has shifted to an essential services model to help prevent the spread of the COVID-19 pandemic. We've put together a series of virtual sessions in order to share information and connect with you. Ryerson is working diligently to provide students with fulsome experiences while maintaining the health and safety of our community. A few Zoom housekeeping tips before we get started. We encourage you to ask questions. We have many faculty and staff members here to answer your questions. To do so, please use the Q&A pod at the bottom of your Zoom window. Click the Q&A pod to open the dialog window and type your question throughout the presentation. If you're having any audio or video issues, feel free to flag it in the Q&A pod and one of our staff members will assist you. You may rearrange the screen in any way that works best for you, and note that rearranging your screen does not impact the way that others are viewing this presentation. This presentation will be closed captioning to ensure accessibility. If you require closed captioning, please select that option at the bottom of your Zoom screen. Also note that recordings of all virtual open house sessions will be available on our website later on in October. And now to start our session, I'd like to introduce Dr. Kathleen Kellett, Associate Dean of the Faculty of Arts, to start the presentation. Kathleen, take it away.
Hi everyone, welcome to the Faculty of Arts Virtual Open House. My name is Kathleen Kellett. I'm the Associate Dean, Undergraduate Studies in the Faculty of Arts. I'm also a French professor in the Department of Languages, Literatures and Cultures. So today, we'd like to welcome all of you, give you a brief introduction to our program, support services and resources, and then have our amazing students, staff, and faculty answer some of your questions. But before we go on, in keeping with Ryerson University's commitment to truth and reconciliation, I am going to ask Jake to present the land acknowledgement, please.
Absolutely, thank you. So the land acknowledgement is a piece that we like to read before important meetings and ceremonies and events that happen on campus. And even though we're not currently all of us on Ryerson's campus, it's still important to acknowledge the land on which the institution stands. So Toronto is in the Dish with One Spoon territory. The Dish with One Spoon is a treaty between the Anishinaabe, Mississaugas, and Haudenosaunee that bound them to share the territory and protect the land. Subsequent Indigenous nations and peoples, Europeans, and all newcomers have been invited into this treaty in the spirit of peace, friendship, and respect. And even though this statement is a very powerful piece, and it's important to acknowledge the land on which the university stands, acknowledgement is not enough on its own, and we need to remind ourselves to continue to be allies and to decolonize in the actions that we take moving forward. And with that, I will pass it back to Kathleen.
Thank you very much. Jake is quite right. We do not want to make this as just a symbolic statement. We are in the Faculty of Arts and in Ryerson. We are committed to increasing the number of Indigenous faculty members, for example, and ensuring that Indigenous faculty and students, indeed all of our students and faculty, feel that the Faculty of Arts is their home. We're going to go forward with a brief video to let you know what makes the Faculty of Arts so remarkable. I think we are. Yes, we are. Here we go.
Diversity is at the core of the Faculty of Arts, and that needs to inform the way in which we deliver an education.
And you see that top to bottom, all the way down to the student body, lots of first and second generation students. So that creates a vibrant environment to reflect on values and to identify from people themselves where we're falling short.
Particularly, I think, at this historical moment, when there's so much strife, so much conflict, so much xenophobia around the world. Humanities research, and literature in particular, allows us an entryway into the lives of other people. We learn about their experiences. All of a sudden, our world gets a little smaller. We're no longer afraid of the other. We learn to humanize and to empathize with each other.
Ryerson has made great efforts to utilize that diversity, that local and that global kind of fusion, and to integrate that into teaching and into research.
We in the Faculty of Arts uphold excellence in scholarship, build bridges between the university and the community, celebrate diversity, create active and critical minds in our students, and work towards progressive change.
Thank you very much. The person in charge of who did a lot of the organization of this event and who is in charge of making the slides move forward is Rama Hilole, who is actually our student liaison administrator. And when you show up in campus, I'm sure when we all get together, you'll get to see her. But today, I'd just like to thank her for taking charge of the slides. We have a warm, unfortunately, Dean Sukuman wasn't able to be here today, but she does have a message for you. That she sent along. So I'm just going to read it out for you. I'd like to extend a warm welcome to Open House. Whether virtual or in the classroom, the Faculty of Arts remains committed to our goals of student engagement, experience-based education, equity, equality, and inclusivity in programming. We are resilient, and together we will move forward. Dr. Sukuman is a great champion of social sciences and humanities. She happens to be a professor in the Department of Sociology as well. Thank you. Can I have the next slide, please, Rama? The Faculty of Arts at Ryerson University is a large, dynamic, and growing faculty within one of Canada's most innovative, bold, and culturally diverse universities. Our undergraduate programs focus on community engagement and real-world outcomes and graduate insightful and distinguished students. Thank you. Next slide, please. Today, you'll have the opportunity to meet and chat with some of our students. Connecting with students is really at the heart of everything we do, but let me talk a little bit about, give you a few facts about the Faculty of Arts. We are one of the fastest growing in Canada. We bring together the social sciences and humanities. We have more than 4,400 students, many from the GTA and the rest of the province, some from other provinces, many from other countries. We have 13 undergraduate programs and more than 250 amazing faculty members. The Faculty of Arts connects academic excellence with relevant results, encouraging active and critical minds. Through collaboration and inclusion of diverse ideas, people, and cultures, we inform innovative policy and we drive positive change for community and individual empowerment. Can I have the next slide, please? These are some of the programs that are available. These are the programs offered in the Faculty of Arts, in case you'd like to take a screenshot if you're not aware of our programs. I'm going to speak briefly about each one in a minute. And next slide, please. We're going to look at the double majors. Okay, these are our double majors. You can see that there are various combinations of the humanities and social sciences. Last year, we actually introduced 6 new double majors, and it's an area where we expect to be growing as well, because we know from our students that there are a lot of double majors that they're interested in. It's, you know, everyone has diverse, wide-ranging interests. So look for more of these in future, but I hope that some of these will be of great interest to you. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, so we want students to think, you should think of your career as something, your education as something that you take charge of. So whether you're doing double majors or you're doing minors or you're choosing a particular program, you're in charge of your life, you're in charge of your education. What we've done but we know that students often change their minds. A lot of students come in thinking that they're going to do one thing. I thought I was going to do linguistics. I ended up doing French literature. You know, it depends. And we like to give students the opportunity in the first year to move around, to explore different interests. So even if you've signed up for one program, you may find that, oh, wow, you know what I really love is sociology, or maybe it's geography, and I didn't realize that until I took a course in it. So in the first year, what we have is we aim for maximum transferability. We have what we call the first year common platform, so that students in the first year are taking a selection of courses in social sciences and humanities. They are also taking core competency courses in academic writing and research, that's SSH 205, in critical thinking, that's SSH 105, and qualitative research methods. But the whole idea is that if you did decide when you get into university that, you know, my son thought psychology, that's what I want, I know that's what I want. So my son graduated in sociology because he discovered a course that really made him excited about learning. And so we try to make it possible for you to have that kind of choice. A lot of you will know right from the start what you want. Others may change their mind. We want to make that as easy as possible for you. Thank you. Next slide, please. So I'm going to start talking about all of our different programs, and some of them I'm sure you already know about, but some of them are maybe a little less obvious, like Arts and Contemporary Studies, for example. Arts and Contemporary Studies is a unique and very versatile program in the humanities and social sciences. You can customize your studies to your own interests. It's one of the most flexible programs we have. You have the opportunity to specialize in fields such as anthropology, cultural studies, diversity and equity studies, global studies, English, French, history, or philosophy, and to combine them with interesting minors. And minors, by the way, not necessarily in the Faculty of Arts. You might combine culture studies with a public relations minor or something like that. It's examining different perspectives on the great ideas that have shaped our world. This program is well designed for intellectually curious students who want to pursue their own academic pathway. Next slide, please. Criminology is one of our most popular programs. It uses a critical and social justice perspective to analyze the criminal justice system, examining issues of inequality and discrimination. Students consider how racism, sexism, classism, and xenophobia affect one's experience of the criminal justice system. You'll gain valuable experience through research, case studies, and community engagement. You'll graduate with the ability to think critically about issues in law, social inequality, Indigenous justice, ethics, crime control, and crime prevention. Next slide, please. Students in the English program learn how the study of literature, broadly defined, that includes stories, poems, graphic novels, diaries, zines, films, online blogs, etc., animates our experience of diverse identities, cultures, and time periods. You'll have access to independent research opportunities, community projects, campus journals, and practicums in creative writing, digital creation, or writing in the arts. You'll have the opportunity to access Ryerson's Center for Digital Humanities, and which engages in collaborative, transdisciplinary scholarship, research, and creativity at the critical intersection of the material and the digital. Next slide, please. Environment and Urban Sustainability, more familiarly known as EUS. In the Environment and Urban Sustainability program, students know that preserving the planet is more important than ever. You'll learn how to research and resolve environmental issues through doing fieldwork, exploring the urban forest, consulting for external clients, investigating urban sustainability issues in downtown Toronto, embarking on national or international travel, and pursuing an optional practicum. Your ability to interpret various environments, analyze people's behavior, and critique sustainable initiatives will empower you to affect change in communities of all scales. Thank you. Next slide, please. Geographic analysis. The career-focused geographic analysis program will teach you to use state-of-the-art geographic information systems, GIS, mapping and remote sensing technology to examine real-world issues, including economic development, urban growth, poverty, public health, and climate change. You may even find yourself making models and maps on a 3D printer. Hands-on labs, a 350-hour internship in the public or private sector, research and consulting projects with external clients, fieldwork, including local and international field trips, will prepare you with innovative solutions in a variety of fields. Thanks. Next slide, please. As the history program teaches us, understanding the past allows us to explore the diversity and complexity of the human experience. You'll study historical debates and engage with documents, artifacts, stories, and digital media from ancient societies up to the 21st century. Experiential learning opportunities include museum and curatorial courses and practicums, mock excavations, and international exchange programs. Participation in the Ryerson History Society will also encourage community building and development of leadership skills that allow you to shape the future. They also have an extremely competitive trivia night because we all need some downtime. Next slide, please. In the International Economics and Finance program, you'll explore the interconnectedness of worldwide markets and acquire and cultivate the economic skills necessary to make strategic decisions from an informed global perspective. Students also participate in case studies, advanced analysis and computer simulations, and receive specialized training in economics, finance, mathematics, and statistics. All students will participate in a required internship in a professional environment, either locally or internationally. You'll graduate ready to provide advice and generate solutions in business, finance, and government. Next slide, please. Language and Intercultural Relations is a unique program that will help you to understand and facilitate communication between cultures. In French or in Spanish, those are the options we have at present, you can choose one of 3 concentrations: language and cognition, translation, or organizational behavior. Intercultural empathy is the key to understanding today's world while preparing for tomorrow, and the linguistic fluency and cultural intelligence you gain will prepare you to tackle challenges in various sectors. Minors in French and Spanish are also available to you. Other languages taught at Ryerson include Arabic, Mandarin, American Sign Language, and even Latin and Greek. Next slide, please. Philosophers ask the fundamental questions that have been contemplated for centuries and still remain relevant today. What is the purpose of life? What do we owe to each other, to society, and the environment? What is the nature of truth, knowledge, power, and justice? You will learn to ask better questions, develop stronger arguments, debunk weak arguments, and write with great precision. These are all very marketable skills. You can participate in independent group study, public dialogue and lectures, applied community projects, and more. Ultimately, you will develop the knowledge and analytical skills needed to make a difference in today's society. The philosophy department also teaches courses in ethics, religious studies, and world music. Thank you. Next slide, please. The study of politics and governance questions the role of government in society and how it relates to social justice, democracy, citizenship, and human rights. This program offers in-class simulations, community projects, research design and analysis, field experience, and placement opportunities. Students have the opportunity to job shadow an MP at Queen's Park or interview politicians in Ottawa in the Women in the House course. You'll graduate with the knowledge and skills needed to critically analyze and address our social, economic, environmental, and governmental challenges and help society navigate our increasingly complex world. Next slide, please. Our only part-time program, Public Administration and Governance, is geared toward public administration professionals in the public, nonprofit, or private sectors, providing the knowledge and skills necessary to advance careers. You'll learn how governments make decisions, how to develop, analyze, and manage policies, and how the latest developments, issues, and initiatives in the public sector affect society as a whole. Your access to research scholars, practicum options, specialized program options for First Nations administrators, and a variety of class formats, including online and evening courses, will help you to make a difference in society. Next slide. Psychology is central to our understanding of human behavior, from our biological foundations to our social processes. This program provides learning opportunities and research experience in many fields within psychology, including cognition, abnormal psychology, statistics, gender and sexuality, human development, and sensation and perception. A psychology degree equips you with highly marketable skills in critical thinking, lab-based research, statistical analysis, and effective communication. This program provides further opportunities for you to complete an optional thesis project or become involved as a research assistant under the supervision of one of our faculty members who are renowned for the quality and social relevance of their research. Next slide, please. Sociology explores society and the promise of and resistance to social change. Studying the essential themes of power, inequality, and movements for equity and social justice will help you to develop a critical understanding of social media, cities and their challenges, immigration and belonging, and Indigenous perspectives. Students learn critical skills in qualitative and quantitative research, which serve them well in a competitive job market. Experiential learning highlights include international and community engagement projects, advanced research training, a capstone bridging course, and an optional thesis. And finally, next slide, please. Undeclared arts. Last but not least, the Undeclared Arts program appeals to students who would like to explore their options in first year before committing to a major. With the first year common platform, Undeclared Arts allows students to take courses in social sciences and humanities in the first year of their university studies before opting for one of our majors or double majors in the Faculty of Arts. If you are an intellectually curious student still undecided about your major, this is a great starting point to begin your academic journey at university. Next slide, please. And that wraps up my brief presentation of the programs. You can find more on each of the websites. Obviously, it's very cursory. There's a lot more to learn. But please do check out the websites where you'll find more information. Each program has an undergraduate program director and an undergraduate program advisor to provide guidance and advice. If you need help with course selection or any other academic program problem, you can always count on the program directors and program advisors. You are not just a number. We know our students and we are here to assist you. I generally tell the students, your program advisor is going to be one of the most important people in your life for the next few years at university. We really do try to help everyone as much as we can. Next slide, please. These are students that are involved in some of our activities. We have a lot of opportunities for leadership for our students. And so we're just going to move next to the next slide. As you see, we have an enthusiastic group of students there. To our next slide on the Student Experience Center. Those purple vests, that means those are Faculty of Arts volunteers, and they're very excited about the work that they do for us. We have fantastic students helping us. The Student Experience Center, so the Faculty of Arts is unusual perhaps in having its own Student Experience Center. We offer a number of services. We have a team that assist the students in various ways. Rama, for example, in organizing the Arts Ambassadors Program, and so many other things. We have personal counseling. We have with Ruth Frolick. We have career counseling with Sunny Wong. We have community engaged learning and teaching with Dr. Rena Tandon. And then there are so many other opportunities on campus for students to get involved. Remember that university is not just a time for courses. It's also a time to build your leadership skills and interpersonal skills by getting involved in various programs such as the Tri-Mentoring Program. And today we have with us Rudra Prasad, who is from the Tri-Mentoring Program, is also one of our Arts and Contemporary Studies students. You know, these are opportunities for you to help others and for you to benefit from the experience of other students. So please do get to know our student experience staff, and there's a lot going on. We also have the Ryerson Liberal Arts Society, and we have the president here, and she'll talk about the society in a few minutes. Next slide, please. I did forget to mention exchanges. It's a bit of a sore topic this year because, of course, we've had to cancel our exchanges, but we normally have we have a very robust exchange program that's led by Jill Carolus and in the student experience team, and we are really looking forward to getting back to exchanges. We're looking at the possibility of virtual exchanges, but not quite the same thing as actually going to Italy, is it? All right. Still, that is part of an undergraduate education, something to look forward to. Also, what we try to do is we really pride ourselves on being a hands-on campus that has a lot of experiential learning opportunities for students. We like to think of Toronto as our classroom, and we want to engage with the community. So Dr. Rena Tandon is involved with faculty members integrating community engaged experiential learning and teaching. This can be doing field work at the Royal Ontario Museum, taking a walk through the city to discover its Indigenous history, job shadowing an MP, creating a photo voice exhibit on thriving and resilience. There are all sorts of different ways that we have of having the students engage with the community as part of their learning process. Thank you. Next slide, please. Just a number of things that our students have been involved in. I see the top picture is our students from the politics, well, in the politics course, Women in the House, who are on their field trip to Ottawa, job shadowing some of the MPs there, and then of course various other psychology and the therapy dogs. Therapy dogs are important. They're regularly on campus when we're on campus, which we will be eventually. Okay, next slide, please. The Ryerson Liberal Arts Society. I'm going to hand this over to Giselle Girardo, who is the president of the Ryerson Liberal Arts Society. Giselle, you there?
She's not with us.
Oh, she's not here today. Oh, okay, that's a shame.
Unfortunately.
Oh, you're going to have to put up with me. Anyway, the Ryerson Liberal Arts Society is a student-led organization that represents and advocates for all of the undergraduate students. They have been incredibly active this summer, putting together webinars for the students to make people, to welcome the incoming students with webinars such as profs and PA talks, and various other webinars with professors. They lead, you see in the picture there behind it, it's called Sprout. They have an annual university-wide competition, a case study competition, which is really very interesting. It brings in, the first year they did it, it was in collaboration with the city of Oshawa, and they were talking about different ways of revitalizing the city core, talking to experts, and then everyone competes to come up with the best solution. So this is an annual event. It's a great opportunity to see how your education applies to real world problems. Next slide, please. The Faculty of Arts, as you, when you become a student of Ryerson and you enter our complex computer system, there is a new platform called Award Spring, and it will tell you as you go into that system, it'll say, okay, these are the awards that you are able to that you're eligible to apply for. I think this is really something it's something that we just adopted in the last year or so. It's a great way because we have a lot of awards, and a lot of them people, just they get left on, the money gets left on the table. That's a terrible thing because we know how many students need that extra funding. So please do take advantage of Award Spring. Make sure that you apply for awards that are applicable to you. In the Faculty of Arts itself, we have departmental awards. So they're often sponsored by employers in the field, for example, Environics in geographic analysis. We have a student projects grant, and this is administered by IRAMA. We have the Arteries Conference. We have a number of different events that apply for the student projects grant. So if you have a great project in mind, you can apply for that and work together. Global Exchange Award is for exchanges. That's some money to help the students, some of the students going on exchange. Comic Book Award, Social Innovation Award. We have a number of different awards, and they're on our website. So do take a look and make sure that you apply for these opportunities. Next slide, please. Here, I know that Laura McKinnon, our career education specialist, is here, and I'm going to ask her to speak to the career support through the Career and Co-op Center team. And I just want to emphasize before she gets to say this, we have co-ops coming, and we're really excited about this. And so I'm going to let her speak to that.
Thanks so much, Kathleen. Hi, everyone. My name is Laura McKinnon, and I'm the Career Education Specialist supporting Faculty of Arts students and alumni. So I work with the Ryerson Career and Co-op Center, but I also work very closely with the Faculty of Arts Student Experience team so that the support that I give is customized to the career needs of Faculty of Arts students. So just to give a very quick overview of my role and what we offer. So my role is to support students and alumni on their career development journey as they discover the power of their arts degree and work towards building a career for life from the very first day you start at Ryerson all the way to 5 years past graduation. And so we offer lots of different programming and services that you'll see on the screen there, including an on-campus job program called Career Boost for international and domestic students. We offer lots of different presentations, workshops, and webinars, both in class and outside, that focus on skill development, career planning, and learning about different career paths. We have lots of different specialized events with industry professionals so that art students can learn about the different career paths and network with potential employers all throughout their academic experience. And then we also offer lots of online resources and programming through our website. And then, of course, because we are virtual this year, and something you might already have experience with is that we do offer lots of resources through our learning management system. And so, you can learn about a broad range of topics, all the way from, writing great resumes, learning about different career paths, how to, do a great interview. We also offer one-to-one advising appointments, so you could speak directly with someone like me about your career-related questions. And then, as Kathleen said, I do want to highlight this very exciting new addition for Faculty of Arts students. Starting in 2021, we'll be rolling out a brand new co-op program to 4 programs: English, History, Sociology, and Politics and Governance. And so, in case you're not sure, co-op is essentially 4 credit paid work terms in positions related to your field of study. So it's a great way to gain work experience for your career post-graduation. And so I don't have too many more details I can share at this time, but it's a unique aspect of the Ryerson Faculty of Arts and something that we encourage you to think about as you're making your decisions towards your future studies. Thanks.
Thanks so much, Laura. That was really great. And I should mention, we're only starting with 4 programs this year, but we will be extending co-op to other programs as we move forward, just as we'll also be adding to our number of double majors. Next slide, please. Okay, so this is your time. This is time for your questions, and we are really happy to answer as many of those as we can. I believe if you're typing them to chat, they'll be followed up later if we don't manage to cover them now. But I am going to hand this over to our panel and over to you so that we can answer your questions.
So Natasha will be leading our panel discussion. Natasha, would you like to introduce yourself to everyone?
Thanks so much, Rahma. Hi, everyone. Good morning. My name is Natasha. I'm a 5th-year Politics and Governance student in the Faculty of Arts, and I'm going to be your moderator for our session today. I've taken part in many of the opportunities available on campus, such as learning abroad, which we've mentioned several times throughout this presentation. I went to Singapore earlier this year, and that's one of the opportunities that is available to you. Most programs simply differ in their exchange location. But without further ado, let's turn to the panel. After I direct a question to the panelists, we're going to have them introduce themselves prior to answering the question for the sake of time. So let's start with our first question, which is a nice and general one to get the ball rolling, so to speak. Steph, why did you choose Ryerson University as your university of choice?
Yeah, so it actually just came about randomly. I was visiting a friend who went to Ryerson University, and she sat me down in the SLC and said, I have to go to class. And my mind wandered around campus. So it's all about how it made me feel. So I definitely recommend that if you are choosing Ryerson, or if Ryerson is on your mind, take a virtual tour first of all, and then go, if you're able to campus, see how you feel. The community that was surrounding, even though I wasn't actually a student at the time, I did feel that community feeling, and that is definitely what was on the #1 thing on my list.
Definitely, 100%. That's a great answer to the question. Thank you so much, Steph. And I just noticed that we have our Dean of the Arts, Dr. Pam Sugiman. So if you would like to unmute yourself and give a couple of words of welcome to our students. Wonderful.
Hi everyone. Sorry, I was having some trouble unmuting myself. I'm sorry I'm joining you late. I was in a couple of meetings early this morning, and I'm just able to drop in. I just want to welcome you all. We're doing some really exciting things here in the Faculty of Arts, and you know, I won't repeat what was already said. So, but you know, I just want to underscore the co-op's SSH 102, which is Thriving in Action. Of course, we're offering this year at no charge. And I don't know, Kathleen, if you've already talked about that, about Thriving in Action.
No, I didn't actually. So it's great to bring it up, because it is certainly a course that we'll also be offering. We offer to really give support to students, especially as they're transitioning from high school to university.
Yes. So this is a course, a 4-credit that takes into account students as students that is people who are pursuing an academic degree, but also students as human beings who face many challenges in their lives. And the instructors are incredible, and they're teaching first-year students and students in upper levels how to cope in university, how to learn, how to this year learn in classes that are on Zoom. You know, I think it's an incredible course. We'll continue to offer it in the years to come. And we focus very much on students. We're very student friendly in the Faculty of Arts. Also, we've established a youth worker rights hub, which recognizes that students are not only taking courses in university, but they're also making a living. They have to pay for rent, residence, help their families financially. So we've become extremely student engaged in the Faculty of Arts, and my attention has in large part been on, as Dean, has been on faculty in previous years, but especially with COVID, with the pandemic. I'm thinking more about innovative ways in which we can teach, and support students generally. So welcome, and I don't want to take away from the flow. So back to you, Rama or Kathleen.
Natasha.
Oh, Natasha, sorry.
Yes, no worries.
No worries. Thank you so much for joining us, Pam. We always appreciate you coming in. It's really amazing that Ryerson has such a focus on student well-being, especially for our incoming students, and it's really great. Now I'm going to turn back to our panel, to Yazdan. So students in high school, they often wonder how exactly they're to choose from the many programs that Ryerson and other universities have to offer. So Yazdan, how did you come to know that your program was right for you?
Thank you very much, Natasha. And just as a quick introduction, I'm a third-year sociology student here at Ryerson. So how did I find out that the program's right for me? Well, I actually started in the Undeclared Arts program. It was a program that was mentioned earlier, and it was down for me between psychology and sociology. It was down to the wire between the two. And after experiencing both introductory classes, I sort of came to the conclusion of, and sort of asked myself, okay, what are my strengths in an academic environment? What do I enjoy engaging with in an academic environment? And I just came to the conclusion that sociology was the right program for me. And that came with experience of trying other programs and comparing my experiences between them. And yeah, after taking the introductory course, that was the program. Thank you.
Amazing. It's always good to know that you don't have to have like a solid definition of what is right for me. And you can always switch between programs if you so choose. And if you figure out that, one program isn't right for you, you can always choose another. So thank you so much, Yazdan, for that answer. And before we continue, can I turn to Kathleen just quickly to give us a basic rundown of what a major, a minor, and a double major is?
Wow, that's not a small question. Yes, so as you come into Ryerson, normally, unlike other universities, we generally have students apply directly into programs. Undeclared arts is a bit of an exception because you get to sort of sample things and then make up your mind. And we do facilitate transfer wherever possible. But we do, as I said, I went through the various majors, and the students that are involved in them are generally incredibly enthusiastic about it. So the major is your focus, but as I said earlier, in terms of customizing your degree, there are other options that go with that, right? So within a major, sometimes there are concentrations. So there's a specific area, for example, in the language and intercultural relation program, you can do a concentration in translation or in language and cognition. So some of those programs have specialties within specialties. Other programs, you might look at, we've had students in terms of the double majors, which have been very popular with students, saying, okay, you know what? Yazdan doesn't have to choose between these two programs. Or our students, you can say, okay, you know what, I really love English, but I've always loved history or philosophy. I really love sociology, but you know what, politics really interests me too. And you can actually do your degree with the core courses of those two majors and all of the electives, and you're graduating with those double majors. It's very flexible. The other option that you might have is to do a minor, and one of the things I really love about minors is that they're so versatile. You don't have to take a minor in your own faculty. We have a lot of students, for example, who do politics and governance, but then they might want a minor in law. The law minor is very popular. We have students who are in English, but you know what? They might have thought that the minor in marketing would make a good combination for them, give them certain skills, certain marketable skills that combine well together. You might be doing psychology, sociology, and then do a minor in psychology because you thought, well, a double major is a bit much. So these are the ways that that you as students take charge of your education and tailor it to your needs. We do this by offering a lot of different options within your major. Did I cover everything?
Wonderful. Thank you so much for that rundown. Yeah, you did. Thank you so much. Okay, we're going to turn now to general speaking about the Faculty of Arts experience. So Palumi, what are your 3 favorite things about being a Faculty of Arts student?
Thank you so much, Natasha, for that question. Just before I answer the questions, I'm just going to give a brief introduction about myself. My name is Palumi. I am in my 4th year of psychology, of the psychology major program. My 3 favorite things about being a Ryerson Faculty of Arts student is, number 1, the fact that there are a lot of opportunities available for you to be able to practice what you've learned in the classroom into a real life setting. Not only that, but there are various resources that are available to you. For example, the Career Center. The Career Center is available to you for professional growth, and also they help you with not just your resume and your cover letters, but they also help you to expand your network, both personally and professional. Another resource is that is very, very beneficial for you and is available within the Faculty of Arts is the Tri-Mentoring program, which basically gives you a mentor that can help guide you throughout your university experiences here at Ryerson University. Another favorite thing about being a Ryerson Faculty of Arts student is basically the staff and the faculty members. They're all very friendly and they're ready to invest in you and invest in your university experiences. So it's always good to get in touch with them. They're not scary. They're very, very friendly. And my third favorite thing about being a Faculty of Arts students is basically the devoted importance that they put on equity, inclusion, and diversity. As a woman of color, it's very, very important for me to be in a space where it's very accessible and accommodating, because that then stimulates my success within the space that I'm in. So the Faculty of Arts have really devoted that time to increase equity, increase diversity and inclusion, and just accommodation and accessibility to all persons. And that's something that I really, really value and I really, really love about the Faculty of Arts.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Palumi. That was definitely 100%. Those are all things that I'm sure that most Faculty of Arts students can also attest to. Especially with faculty and staff members investing in your opportunities and your experiences on campus. It's definitely something that a lot of the staff that I myself have also come in contact with have shown me. Let's move to staff. So what is it like to be enrolled in a university program? Can you please be specific to yours?
Yeah, so I am in my 4th year of the Environment and Urban Sustainability program, otherwise known as US. And what is great about the Faculty of Arts University programs is that they're tight-knit. So there's around 80 students in my program of varying age levels, of varying past experiences, and each person brings a certain background to the table when you're in class discussions. Another great thing about the program specifically, which I know other programs do as well, is that Toronto is your area where you're doing field work. So as Dr. Kathleen Kellett was explaining, the Royal Ontario Museum, the amount of times I've been to the ROM and the amount of times I've been to Toronto Island, I can't count on my 10 fingers anymore because I've been so often, which is so great because they're not only grading you on testing, they're grading you on your discussions in class, how you are conducting your field work, etc. And I just wanted to add another point that each program in the Faculty of Arts, mine also specifically, is that it's interdisciplinary, which means that you don't necessarily have to go in one path and then take that route. You can go in multiple different directions. My career path has changed at least every 6 months while I've been in this program. At first I wanted to go into field work, that didn't cut it. Then I wanted to get my MBA, that didn't cut it. Then I wanted to go into law school. There's just so many opportunities that's available, and it's all dependent on how you are going through university, what your experiences are, and also the resources that are available on campus that are able to help you along the way.
Thank you so much, Steph. It's definitely really wonderful to know that, students don't have to stick to one plan necessarily throughout university, and that it's okay to change your mind because there are definitely experiences that shape you along the way. That being said, first year can definitely be really, really daunting, especially because information is constantly being thrown at you from all ends. And the transition does often seem scary, but the Ryerson's Faculty of Arts staff, as we mentioned before, are here to help with that. So Rudra, can you tell us a little bit about some resources that are available to help students with that transition from high school to university?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Natasha. Welcome, everyone. My name is Rudra. My pronouns are he and him. So I am one of the staff at the Tri-Mentoring program that Palumi was kind enough to shout out a little bit earlier. I'm also a current student in the Faculty of Arts, so ACS, I rep my brand hard. But university can be a difficult transition regardless of the background that you're coming from or the educational experience that you're coming from, whether it's from high school, whether you're coming in as a mature student. It can be overwhelming in the best of times, and especially now with all the uncertainty that COVID can bring. But one of the things that I really want you to know is that the support that you receive here at Ryerson, and especially in the Faculty of Arts, is a constant. I don't know if you could tell already, but there are tons of people here that genuinely care about supporting your success during your time at Ryerson. So As Palumi said, the Tri-Mentoring program matches incoming first-year students with upper-year students in the same program of study to help with the transition into Ryerson specifically, but post-secondary in general. So if your parents or primary caregivers never went to post-sec, you might have a lot of questions about the culture of post-secondary and how to navigate the systems that exist here. And that's where an upper year student can maybe help you with navigating where you need to go and get the answers that feel comfortable for you and get your questions answered in the way that you want. We also have learning support within the Department of Student Life and Learning Support. And they have workshops and different programming to support students, whether it's math related. I don't speak math, so that's why I chose arts and contemporary studies. But also there's writing support. So if you need support with writing of essays, even scholarship applications, there's lots of support that you can get within learning support. There's also support for students that identify as disabilities or coming from high school with IEPs. So I myself have been diagnosed with ADHD and a couple of other learning differences, and have received a lot of support from academic accommodation support in terms of navigating discussions with professors about how to make the most out of my educational experience and be able to participate fully. And in my experience, a lot, if not all, of the professors in the Faculty of Arts have been very supportive and understanding in terms of helping me participate fully in class and get the most out of my classes. So just a little side note, Kathleen was one of my former professors and she was great. So that's some of the supports that are available on campus. There's tons more. Tri-Mentoring also has scholarships for first-year students, whether you're a student with a disability, whether you're a racialized student, if you are a mature student, there's scholarships available, and there's also support for international students as well. There's an entire office dedicated to supporting international students in these uncertain times. So I know that was a lot. If there's any follow-up questions, happy to answer those like in the chat or whatever. But yeah, thanks.
Thank you so much, Ruja. That was very thorough. I appreciate that, and I'm sure our students do as well. It's absolutely wonderful to hear that students are very well taken care of both at Ryerson and especially in the Faculty of Arts. So all of our panelists here today have had ample volunteer experience on campus. So Yasin, can you tell us a little bit about what student groups you're a part of and a couple of the activities that you were involved in?
Sure, thank you very much, Natasha. So my main sort of volunteer experience currently on campus is I am actually fortunate enough to be the president of the Ryerson Sociology Students Union. I was elected into that position, and I'm very grateful and honored to be able to represent sociology students in that capacity. I get to work with a wonderful team of people who are very talented and very supportive, and it's just absolutely incredible. I also get to collaborate with RLAS, many of whose members are facilitating, including Natasha and Steph today, who are also incredible. Getting to work and communicate with faculty in the sociology department, outside of the sociology department, has really allowed me to develop my skills as a leader and to be more humbled in what my strengths are, what my weaknesses are, and to be able to develop that at the best of my ability. So it's been an incredible experience. And yeah, that's about it. Thank you very much.
No, thank you. That was wonderful. It's great to know that you're able to both grow professionally and as a leader through all of the experiences that you're involved in via your extracurriculars. So we are running out of time. So our final question for this period is with regard to where students can learn more about the programs in the Faculty of Arts and if they still have questions. So Rahma, if you wouldn't mind taking this question, please.
Thank you, Natasha. Thank you for everyone for answering these questions so wonderfully. So for who you can get in touch with and where you can get in touch with any questions about the Faculty of Arts, I am going to drop a link in the chat where you can download the program brochures for the Faculty of Arts that were a part of our presentation. You can download as many of the program brochures as you want and get to know who your program directors are, your program advisors are. As Kathleen stressed, they are very important to your academic success while you're here at Ryerson. You could also follow our social media accounts. The Faculty of Arts is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And you can always message us in the direct messages, and we'll be happy to chat with you and answer any questions you may have about the Faculty of Arts. Another great place to learn more about the Faculty of Arts will be in our November open house that we're having on November 16th and the 18th at the Faculty of Arts, as well as getting in touch with the undergraduate admissions in the Faculty of Arts.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for that wonderful response, Rahma. Thank you. And thank you to all of our panelists for their answers throughout the session. And thank you to our listeners. I'm now going to hand the virtual mic, so to speak, back to Rahma for information about how you can keep up with the Faculty of Arts.
So as I said, you can stay connected with us at RU Faculty of Arts, as well as Ryerson, that could answer any questions you have about admissions, as well as the upcoming open house that we are hosting in November. I am going to pass it over to Jake for any closing remarks about the November open house.
Great. Thank you so much to our presenters for a great session. We are now about to shut down our video and audio, meaning you won't be able to see or hear us, but we'll still be online until the end of the hour to answer any questions you may have. So feel free to submit questions through the Q&A pod until the end of the hour. A reminder that recordings of all virtual open house sessions will be available on our website later in October. However, this will not include your typed Q&A, so I suggest that you make note of any answers to your questions that before the webinar ends that you get in the chat. I would also like to remind anyone here today who's interested that our Faculty of Communication and Design is hosting a similar open house session today at 1 p.m. and the registration link is in a few of the Q&A answers. So if you're interested in programs like acting, dance, interior design, film, photography, media production, etc., that would be a great session for you to check out. We'll also be hosting another virtual open house the weeks of November 9th and November 16th, which will feature program information sessions for each of our undergraduate programs, and we hope to see you there. On behalf of Ryerson University, thank you once again for joining us today, and we hope to see you in other sessions this week. Take care, everyone.